Hello and welcome to Who Are You? We're a reasonably well done sci-fi watchcast by a couple of former strangers who are now friends and watching 2004's Battlestar Galactica. I'm Laura.
And I'm Xhafer.
And I almost said I was Xhafer because I've memorized you saying it.
That would have been very confusing for
Yeah.
everyone. So we're doing Battlestar. We're on season 2, episode 9, Flight of the Phoenix. I guess Flight of the Laura just didn't have the same ring to it. Agree to disagree, Ron Moore.
That was a really nice touch at the end. I must say that I personally loved it. Big fan. Yeah. No, it's Battlestar's own Delta Flyer.
Yeah. This is fun. I mean, it's a very different kind of ship than the Delta Flyer.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But it's a lot of fun to see
now,
this storyline.
Have you recently watched Voyager? Can you remind me of the origin of Delta Flyer?
I think it came about because they were bored. I don't remember there being a necessity or there being we're out of shuttlecraft plot. Lord knows they never ran out of shuttlecraft.
Right. That's never going to come up. It's the ammunition. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They're 47 torpedoes that they fired 4,000 times or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's just I finished my Voyager rewatch maybe 8 months ago now.
Yeah, mine was a couple of years ago, and I remember very clearly the big race episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember if they had started the Delta Flyer before that.
Yeah, it was done at that point.
Yeah,
they ran into Delta Flyer and they're like, "Hey, fast looking ship, maybe you should do the race thing."
Yeah. And Janeway's down for anything, so we get to do that episode. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck it. Anything for morale.
Yeah. Janeway's great. Love her.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like after your ship gets half taken over and they turn it into a giant holodeck to recreate World War II after brainwashing half of your crew, you just kind of let whatever happens with terms of R&R. Just you've earned this.
Uh-huh. You had to sit through the World War II arc. You all are entitled to some enjoyment.
Yeah. The best thing we had going was a persistent Irish seaside town for 3 months. So,
oh my God.
You know what? Have at.
I did love Fairview?
Fairview. Yeah.
Is it Fairview?
I believe it's Fairview.
See, now I'm confused because I'm like, am I conflating that with Fairview? There's a town, Fairview, Oklahoma, that some of my family is from. So I'm like, it's Fair something, but I don't think it's Fairview.
Fairhaven.
Fairhaven, that's it. I was like, that doesn't feel right.
Okay, we got there. Thanks, Google.
Thank you, Google. No, I liked Fairhaven. It was fun too.
Yeah.
I think that we're probably going to be discussing Star Trek Voyager a little more again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
There's some.
How far ahead have you watched right now?
No, a listener, I will admit that I have watched the episode after this one, the infamous number 10. And there's some parallels, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. That's why when you had texted me and I knew you had watched it, I was talking to Ben at the time, and that's why he sent a message in one of the group chats that was about you watching it, but didn't call you out specifically. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had some discussions with Aaron about a few things that I need to bring up in the next episode. So, stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, I have not
continued.
Watched it yet. I mean, I've seen it before, but I haven't watched it this go around. So, I'm looking forward to my rewatch. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we should probably start talking about this episode.
I guess. This one is not quite as intense as the next, but I did find it rather intense.
Yeah. We open on a big old Cylon fleet just flying around. As the chief checks a Raptor, Hilo goes to the mess, only for all the rookies to cold shoulder him. And we cut back to the chief and the Raptor here. Mm-hmm. The chief is performing a haptic inspection which is compared via crosscut to some sensual touching with Boomer. This is flashbacky. We get the little flashbacky thing to let us know that this is flashback.
Yeah.
Do you think this is because he's currently emotionally confused, or is he mentally equating the feeling of touching machines?
Well, that's beautiful. I love that. I think that Tyrell is the kind of man who is very in touch with the mechanical in general, right? Not just the fact that he had turned out to be robot lover.
Mm-hmm.
And he cares deeply about the machines that he takes care of. Those Vipers, the Galactica. Like,
and Boomer.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that it's showing his consistency as a person. Like this work that he does, he takes these machines so very seriously. He touches them very carefully. He knows how important they are.
Yeah.
And it is rather like the care that people put into their relationships with other humans. And oopsie doodle, it also turns out that he put all that care into a relationship with a much more complex machine.
Yeah. Now, he's very attentive in his inspection. But I have to ask, what's going on with him noticing the leak on the ship and then immediately cutting over to Boomer? What's that implying, Ron Moore, you cheeky dog?
Do I make you horny, baby? Do I?
Yeah. Ultimately, he is not satisfied with this Viper and slaps a scrap sticker on it.
Yeah, this won't do. Speaking of won't do, Callie's out of the brig. And the deck crew is celebrating. We learn her actual charge is inappropriate discharge of a weapon.
Yeah.
Is what she was charged with.
Well, as we've talked about before, nobody should be shooting guns inside tube.
Right? Tight tube, no gun. Bad idea.
Yep. We're not a fan of that. Gosh. This is awkward, especially because, like, we're all having hooch with Callie, and then Callie tries to be like, Tyrell, I appreciate you so much. I heard you tried to stand up for me. And he just kind of blows her off because he's mad at machines, I guess.
Yeah, he's still mad. He's mad at a couple things. He's got very complicated feelings at the moment. He grabs some shine and I guess a bag of space Doritos. We see him take something off the table that was snack-esque. Yeah. But we don't know what it was. I hope it's space Doritos. He's not holding it in the next scene, though, when he goes to Hilo and Sharon's old Raptor, where Hilo is also drinking.
Yes. Always a good sign when the entire crew of idolish people is just sitting around drinking.
Yeah.
And Hilo's like reminiscing about Sharon's flight skills.
Yeah.
And talking to Tyrell about how she could never like land the damn thing right.
Always scraping up that landing gear.
Yeah.
Starbuck beats up Racetrack after she's more than a little racist and slut-shamey.
Racetrack is running her mouth real bad. Yeah. Earlier in the poker scene, you know, Starbuck does try to stick up for Hilo a little bit. And she's like, man, these bastards just fuck with your head. Like, it can happen to anybody. Like, step off. But Racetrack will not let it go.
You know, Racetrack, how they, like, found this actress? She was one of the finalists for the 6 role.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've made her such a brunette, I can't picture it. You know, 6 is so very blonde.
I don't know anything about the audition other than that she was there.
I mean, you can dye hair, you can do wigs. I mean, they're all probably using wigs anyway because they're more reliable than like real hair. But
well, 6 famously, she talks about it on her podcast. Trisha Helfer had her hair dyed for the first season and just constantly bleaching her hair.
Oh, I'm sure that was so bad for it too.
It was. It got to the point where she like purposefully sabotaged so that they had to give her a wig going forward because they were refusing. The production was refusing for some reason. Yeah.
Cheapskates. How dare. How very dare.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad she got to have healthy hair again after that.
Yeah.
So we see Starbuck like try to play it cool here for a moment, and I was really proud of her, but she can't. She just can't, man.
Not her way.
Yep, I feel you, Specs. And so Hilo also tries to like apologize to Tyrell,
Yeah.
but Tyrell is in a bad place, very bad
Yeah,
place.
not really having it. They end up fighting as well.
Yes, Tyrell tries to like tell him about the plans that he and Boomer had before everything, and then thanks Hilo for being a bigger sucker.
Right. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. It's like, you took the attention away from me being a sucker because you were a bigger sucker. Hilo actually tries, like, not to fight him a couple times,
Yeah.
but Tyrell just can't let it go and keeps coming. He is bulldog in this moment.
Yeah. This is not
But-
the boxing episode.
I know, but there's a lot of, like, fighting for not the boxing episode. I can't wait for the
Exactly.
boxing episode.
I think it's season 4. It's in a while.
Yeah. You know, it'd be fun if, like, when we get to the boxing episode and everybody boxes out their feelings, that, like, we just don't have any more fights after that.
Yeah.
Because we boxed it out. All the feelings are out. We left them in the ring.
It also would be fun if we
Yeah.
just just re-reviewed TKO from Babylon 5 instead of watching the boxing episode.
Oh, maybe this falls around April Fools, because that would be fun.
That would be fun. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll have to
I'll-
look forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of all of this, in the fighting, Tyrell admits that he doesn't know why he's mad at Hilo.
Yeah.
And he's not really. Like,
Yeah,
we know who he's really mad at.
He's confused. It's confusing times.
I mean, me too, Tyrell. It's fine.
After this, D gets that static feedback from when you held 2 phones next to each other.
Oh, yeah. Or like
Yeah.
you got your phone too close to like a microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ty wonders if this is a Cylon trap, and then D gets fucked up to theme.
Yeah, we got exploding console. The old Star Trek trope. Love it. So it seemed to me like it took everybody a little bit even past this to be like, yes, Cylon virus. But at this moment, to me, it should have been obvious, like, Cylon problem with computer.
Yeah.
Like, Ty is not wrong.
Of course, there's a virus.
Yeah, of course.
We go to theme, survivor count 47, 853. It is unchanged from last episode.
Well, we didn't lose anyone. That's a good day.
Yep. Still hanging in there. Doing good.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. So we come back from theme with a Cylon Raider incoming.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Adama goes and checks on D.
Yeah.
And Gata says the system has been glitchy since the Cylons hacked the network.
Yes.
Wow. Gata. My guy.
Weeks.
My
Ish.
man. What?
Just neglect to mention that.
It ain't glitchy. It ain't just glitches, man. Like, is this one of those situations? You've managed people. You've had
Yeah.
this happen, where something happens and your employee sees it and they think they are part of the cause to the thing that happened. And so they're just like quietly trying to fix it in the background for a while. And then you come in and you see it and it has gotten way worse. And now it's your problem to fix.
I have been really fortunate to have a really solid foundation with just about every single person who's ever reported to me. I mean, I've spent probably about 15 years in management, managing first layer and in middle management over the years. Probably over 250 people if I were to add them all together. That's just snowball. It's probably right. And I can name 3 people who ever reported to me who would have done this, and 1 did.
Yeah.
And most, I'm very fortunate. Just about everyone I've worked with has been able to be comfortable enough with me to ask for help when they needed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because not everyone feels that way with their boss sometimes. And there's a number of reasons for that. Sometimes that's on the person, sometimes that's on the boss, sometimes it's both. But it's definitely been a thing once in my life where you're just like, oh God, if you had just said something an hour ago, this would have been fixed already.
Yeah.
We would have called the person who can actually do the thing, especially in IT, because so much of access is siloed that it's not like you got lost in an Excel formula for an hour. Like, we need someone else to fix this. Like, you physically, well, digitally do not have the ability to fix it.
You
Not
are
from- even
internal
from a
controlled
skill.
for reasons. And
Yeah.
so we need the other person to do the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A feature of the system of public accounting is that, like, when you get to one of those more supervisory roles, like teams are constantly switching, right? You come in on an audit team that has been existing for a little bit, or, you know, your team suddenly has changed, whatever. You're working with new people all the time. And so it's harder to build some of that. Like, of course you can come to me, you know, you don't know what manager they've had before. And so there can be a lot of trust barriers real quick. So that's fun in that particular setting. And then another time I dealt with this, I had been recently hired, and the person I was managing had thought, because he worked at the position and the institution longer, even though he had no accounting degree or certification, that he should have had the job that I got. And did not want me to know when he messed up.
Ugh.
And I found something months later that should have been a easier problem. So
Yikes.
Mr. Gata, not a good look.
Yeah. I will say though, when Gata's like, oh, well, you know, he's just like, we'll just go through every line of code and fix it. And when Gata's just so like, you have no idea what you just asked me to do.
Right.
Yeah, I feel that. Just like the marketing department. Just update every report with the new logo, guys. How hard can it be? It's all like, okay, well, how many reports are there? You don't know? No, because 2/3 of them only exist on someone's desktop and aren't updated from a repository.
For real.
Get fucked. You asked the impossible.
That is so annoying. Yeah. I am really grateful to be studying in the field that I am at the time that I am, because when I'm having trouble with code, I can now pop it into a, tool, a machine learning tool, and be like, what did I do? So I can have the machine find the missing semicolon instead of me, incompetent me who wrote it with a missing semicolon.
That doesn't make you incompetent. It makes you human. And believe me, having written code for years at this point, without those tools, you just called over someone else to look at it, to find it.
Yep.
Like that's how you used to solve that problem before some of these tools existed.
Yeah. I'm glad I have someone else I can just pop up on the internet and not have to bother a real person with my stupidity.
That's the thing, is it only feels like it's stupidity to you because no one is asking you, because you all have this tool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is I come from the days where not only did I have to ask, but was asked many times.
Yeah.
Everyone does this.
Yeah. So Ty wants him to just move his ass and figure it all out. Go, paired program this with Gaius or whatever.
Yeah. Ty's just like, load up VSC, use compare on your Git versioning, and it'll be done in 20 minutes. What are you fucking talking about? Oh,
yeah.
God. It's so nice these days.
Gata gets a little snappy.
He does.
He had a little bit of an edge last episode when he was trying to smoke, and probably like Laura can't inhale. And he's got told to pull himself together by Adama.
Yeah. Yeah. RSVP Gata's will to work.
I'm a little worried about Data.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
The chief tells Lee that Viper is down. And when he's told that miracles aren't expected, he's all like, fuck it. I'm making a miracle happen.
Yeah, I love it. I have this contrarian streak in me too, where like somebody's like, "Oh well, it's fine," and I'm like, you know what?
Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm going to be the best thing instead of just the thing.
Right. Yeah. So he starts construction. Most of the deck crew come in noticing that he hasn't slept and is welding. And they are
normal.
Yeah. They're not excited about their new after work job at work. Have you had this happen to you? Have you volunteered for a thing where you end up taking a second job at your job that you don't get paid for?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely had that happen.
Yeah, this always ends up being me. Someone tries to do something and I'm like, oh, that'd be nice. And then I end up they leave 3 weeks in and I end up running the fucking thing. It always goes this way.
Yeah. No, I've been this person too. Yeah.
Yeah.
As we sit here with our, after work.
Our hobby job.
Our hobby job.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, it
I love
doesn't
that.
feel like work.
No, it really doesn't.
If any part of it feels like work, it's Aaron's job. So thanks, Aaron, for editing this podcast. We appreciate the hell out of you.
We sure do. He's got the real work.
He does. And he does it so well.
Mm-hmm. He's very kind about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tyrell tells them, this is off-duty project only, and if none of you people want to be part of it, then it's my fucking thing. Get the fuck out. Go away.
Right. Boo-hoo.
Get lost, losers.
I'm going to build my own ship.
With blackjack and hookers.
After this, we see Rosalind hanging with Doc Cottle. There's
Oh,
not a lot of
yes.
words here.
No.
She's just reading her own chart.
Yep.
Which, if it's that bad, she's just like walking around reading it. She's like, how long? And Doc Cottle says, weeks, maybe a month.
Wow. I'm so confused by this because, okay, it's this episode where we have jumped forward a few weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it next episode?
There is an amount
There's a
of
little time jump.
Yeah.
I want to say it was between 8 and 9 in my head, but it could be between 9 and 10. I'm not sure. He does tell her that she can work as long as the cancer doesn't make it to her brain.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that timeline of maybe a month, I was like, wow, we could potentially be losing Rosalind a lot sooner than I had anticipated.
Okay, so the farm was the last time we had a concrete day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was day 60.
Okay.
And then we don't know the days exactly for Home Part 1, Home Part 2, or Final Cut. But this episode is day 86.
Okay.
I don't know how they know that exactly, but day 86, that's where we're at.
Okay. So potentially by day 116, we could be sans Laura Rosalind, is what Doc Cottle thinks here.
Yeah,
which is not that far.
It's not that far. No.
Yeah. So either this show is going to cram like 30 days over 2.5 more seasons. Is that correct? I don't know exactly how many episodes there are. That would be a very compressed time frame. I'm not sure that I buy that we're going to lose Rosalind in a month.
I can tell you what day season 2 ends on.
Oh, but don't.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. I'm just confused by this timeline. So I look forward to seeing how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
In the next scene, though.
Yeah, at the range. They've got those novelty targets with Osama bin Laden's and zombies and deers holding rifles. Have you seen these?
I have seen those, yeah.
Yeah.
Not in person, but I've seen like the idea of them, yes.
Oh, I worked at a shooting range when I was in high school. So
yeah. So you've seen them.
I've seen all kinds of weird fucking targets people have.
I mean, deer holding rifles is kind of funny.
Deer holding rifles is pretty good. Yeah.
Zombies also. Wholesome.
There's a lot of zombie ones on the market. I was curious what they looked like these days because I haven't seen them in 20 years.
Yeah.
And I was honestly kind of afraid to Google it.
Yeah, me too.
But it was way less political than I thought it was going to be. It's probably because if you put certain people on them, it probably is a felony.
It puts you on a list.
It puts you, well, more than puts you on a list, it could be taken as a statement of threat.
Incitement. Yeah.
Yeah, incitement. And there are certain people that it is illegal to threat like that.
Yeah.
At certain levels because of, the Secret Service.
Right.
And so some of the people that I was kind of expecting to see
Didn't show
nowhere
up.
to be found. But I did find I actually sent one to Ben and a couple other friends. That is the shootout from the OK Corral.
Oh, that's cute. Ben.
Yeah.
Ben loves that. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going shooting with Ben tomorrow morning. And I know that if it had been another week, those are the targets he'd be bringing.
Right. Yeah.
Those
Well,
are on
that's
the way
fun.
right now, I'm sure.
What's not fun is that these novelty targets are Sharon.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
That is not cool, guys.
Yeah. And Lee is going ham. He loses his shit here.
Yeah. And Starbuck calls him out.
Yeah.
She says, "You're being a little aggressive."
Mm-hmm.
And then they talk about the Delta Flyer a little bit. Lee is not impressed. Tyrell needs to be putting his time to better pursuits. But Starbeast says, "Well, fuck you. I will fly the thing."
Yeah.
I love our contrarians. But as they're having this fun like back and forth, we see Hot Dog just pass out in the background.
Yeah. Hot Dog has a rough go. He's out. He's out cold. And Starbuck and Lee both get really weird and woozy. Starbuck's constantly laughing. Lee finally manages to figure out what's going on. He tries to open the door and he can't. Starbuck tries to shoot the glass and can't break it. And Lee ends up using one of the Cylon Centurion busting rounds to break the door open in the glass.
I didn't realize that's what he had to do it. Okay.
Yeah, that's the
saw
little
them, like, holding
underbarrel
it
one-shot
together.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought they were just like steadying themselves, and that's how their teamwork was going to get the door open.
No, he was loading the under barrel. It's a little like undercarriage thing. Like modern guns have a thing where you could put a little grenade launcher down there that can shoot like a grenade.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's like one
Analog
of
to
those.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time, like, they were going back and forth to like the oxygen gauge has been dropping in this room. And honestly, Ada, like, man, you should have seen this coming. The second thing started glitching.
Yeah. Not
And we cut to
good.
Gata, who says, yeah, the environmental system thought that this room was overpressurized, and so it started venting the oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Gaius shows up and says that they've got a Cylon logic bomb.
Yeah, this is a neural network. This is our AI. This is a GPT here.
It's a
It's
machine
fucking with
learning.
everything. Yeah.
Ope.
Ope indeed.
It's been in the system, like running through code, learning things, getting smarter, learning how to turn things off or on, depending.
Learning how to fucking kill everyone.
Yep. Gaius blames Ty for this, and I'm like, come on, man. I mean, I know Ty was in charge, but he wasn't smart enough to like really evaluate what was happening, I think.
Yeah. I mean, no one asked Gaius for his opinion on the networked computers, and he might have been able to bring over his Cylon detecting computers and not exposed all the ship's systems. He's notably absent from that whole chunk of that episode.
I'm trying to remember, was that when he was on Cobol?
He was on Cobol. That's why he wasn't there. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think we joked about it of like, you should go get the Cylon detecting computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was indisposed.
Mm-hmm.
And so he feels very free to throw some blame around.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what I was up to on Cobol. Just think about how Ty made this bad call.
Right? Distract.
Deflect. And Adama notes for us that this was weeks ago. So we're definitely like removed from the happenings. And he wants Hilo to run this past the prisoner.
Yeah. Leverage that pressure where you can. Hilo.
Yeah.
Go talk to her about this, please.
Dangle Hilo in front of her because
Mm-hmm.
maybe she'll remember that if the ship like vents everyone into space, Hilo is one of those people.
Yeah. Let's remember that. After this, we see Tyrell continuing construction as lights are flickering all over the ship. Adama and Ty briefly talk about the shipbuilding effort, and Adama says it's great for morale and he won't shut it down unless he absolutely has to.
Yeah, and this is the beautiful part of this whole B plot, if you will, is we start seeing here other people deciding to partake. You know, Tyrell is leading on this effort and he doesn't expect anyone's help. He's written that off. But as he's trying, he's like struggling to get the wing up there. One of his guys comes over and is like, look, you're not going to get it up by yourself. Like, let's get this on there, you know? And this is the beginning of like that cracks of, okay, well, maybe we could do more than just like keep ourselves alive. Maybe we could also like create.
Yeah. Do a thing. I like building stuff. I get it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful little progression. And I don't remember exactly how the Delta Flyer progressed, but I feel like this
Kinda
is a
like
little,
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like this is a little more meaningful though to me.
I would agree. The Delta Flyer was lots of like Tom and Harry and sometimes Bellotta.
Yeah. And I just don't have like the same feelings about Tom as Tyrell. Like, I don't think Tom Paris is a character I can identify with much, to be honest.
Also, the Delta Flyer is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like you see it and you think it's this little ship, right? Because you're like they built it in the room and you think you know how big the room is. But then you see the inside of that thing and the cockpit comfortably seats like 8 and there's an entire like lab in the back and shit.
Right. Of course,
Like-
because it's Star Trek. Everything
Star
needs
Trek.
a lab.
Like the Delta Flyer is the size of like half of my house.
Yeah.
It's got to be bare minimum like 500 square feet inside of that thing, if not like upwards of 800 to 1,000. Like that thing is huge.
And there's something more rustic about the Blackbird, as we're calling it.
They're welding and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
the
'cause-
technology, there's a big technology gap between Battlestar
Right.
and Voyager.
A much more accessible like picture in our minds than like, oh, I'm going to do the thing with the spanner. Like, no, I've got the blowtorch, you know?
Yeah. It's like watching them build the Delta Flyers, all like, cool, they're super gluing panels together that then self-fuse or something.
Right.
Watching them build the Blackbird is like watching my Samson Boat Building Company YouTube videos where they build wooden boat. You know? It takes
love
them
the
like
name drop,
5
yeah.
years to build one wooden boat and then go sailing in it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can watch the whole thing on YouTube. It's great. I love that shit. But yeah, it feels a lot more human.
Adama is very into this. But of course, Ty is only right twice a day, and this is not the moment. And he thinks this is a waste of time.
For sure.
We should just fix what we have left. Why are they wasting their time trying to build something new?
Because you've got a ton of fucking spare parts, bro. This should be Avi. You should be if you're lucky, every 2 scrapped fighters is 1 fighter.
Yeah. We cut to Lee is going to show Dee some self-defense moves. I think this is coming from Dee's traumatizing experience when the Centurions were on board.
Mm-hmm.
And she's starting to be like, oh, yeah, maybe I should dust off some of that basic training bullshit and like take it seriously. But it gets a little tense.
It gets a little tense and then it gets a little romantic. There's a moment there where it looked like they might kiss, and then fucking Billy shows up.
The love triangle I did not see coming. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Lee D. Billy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
Yeah. You should be.
Uh
Hint, it doesn't end well.
oh no.
What would make you believe that?
I know. Yeah, I kind of already had a hint of uh-oh.
Yeah.
Anytime anything happens that I'm like, it's just a little like hint of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh.
Is that happiness in Battlestar Galactica? As Ron Moore marches into your house and kick your TV over just to make sure you didn't feel a thing of joy.
Yeah. Yeah. People talk about George R.R. Martin, but they did not meet Ron D. Moore, I guess.
I wonder if Outlander's a happy show.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to watch. Hilo goes to do Daddy Adama's bidding. But first he's going to pester Sharon about Tyrell. And like, what do you remember about Tyrell?
Yeah.
What do you know about him? How do you feel about him?
Yeah, just like, you don't still love him, do you? Because we got into a big manly scrap about it. And there was a big man scrap. And I threw punches and I threw him around. And he seemed very upset. So I just want to know, I wish, listener, you could see me shaking my shoulders as part of this, because I feel like it really sells the dumb
way
voice.
you're doing the face too, the face.
Yeah.
And obviously Hilo won that fight, right? Like,
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah.
Big strong Hilo.
She like placates him in a not very satisfying way. And then they actually talk work, the logic bomb. Yeah. I love this.
I have questions.
I love it. Go ahead.
So they printed out the code that has the logic bomb in it, maybe. And it's just a ream of paper. It's the old school, like, dot matrix printer with, like, the stuff on the sides, but the corners are still cut off. Right? And it's just like, one, what is the printer and ink situation on Galactica? We're on day 90 or whatever. How much shit are they printing and how do they still have ink? Two, the way she reads this and like stops for a second, did you just give her the virus, bro?
Oh, great question. Like, is this a thing that if I read it, suddenly I am evil? I am given the thing? Like,
you have to wonder that before you expose her to this. Like you can't just put it. He literally like puts it in her face before he says what it is, and so she just starts reading it because it's something you threw in her face and it's words and she's gonna read it. It's like you can't do that.
Yeah, it's like when you just go and open the poisoned PDF. Like computer can't stop itself. It's gonna read the file.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is a great question.
Yeah.
A great question. Doesn't seem to be really answered by the end of this.
No, and we know that it takes time.
It does take some weeks, doesn't it?
Yeah, they tell us that.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does flip out. And this virus is going to destroy them in hours at this point, she says. And we need to talk to Papa Dama now.
Yeah. Papa Dama goes down and talks to Sharon as we check in on the fighter. Starbuck and Dee are now joined in and helping as Lee complains. And Ty talks a little bit of shit, but more importantly, finally finds the still Tyrell's been running.
I don't know how okay. I have a plausible reason for him not knowing that the still was here.
Oh, he's just never been down here. Well,
also, he is generally unpleasant, and so no one talks to him. Yes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes. He finally, comes to Jesus about this project, but it's mostly because of booze, right? And
I mean, he would have secured those engines before he knew there was booze down here, or at the very least, if he knew there was booze, he really slow played taking it. I think he genuinely was all like, we're gonna, this is something where we're not spending any resources. This ship does have this shit. It does need to get moved. Maybe this will two birds, one stone something.
yeah. I don't think he'd come to that decision before he went to see Tyrrell. I think somebody had like put in the many piles of paper on his desk, he had seen like, oh, this place wants to get rid of some shit. And then as he's having the conversation with Tyrrell, he is convinced by Tyrrell, and also there's a giant thing of booze sitting over there. That's also very convincing.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you know what? What the fuck? Why not?
He takes a mason jar for his troubles. And I will say, having got some authentic West Virginia moonshine a couple of times in my life, if it doesn't show up in a mason jar, I don't believe it.
Don't trust it. Yeah.
Yeah. No packaging allowed.
Yep.
Look at you, old Smokey.
Rosalind comes to visit Adama. Yes. And she gives his book back.
Yep. This is from season 1, episode 2's Water. This is Edward Prima's Dark Day. We know it's a mystery.
It's just so like she's wrapping up her affairs. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Giving
he
him
knows
his
what
book
this
back.
is.
Yeah.
Like he's like, it was a gift, and she's all like, yeah, well, here you go. And it's like you can tell from the weight of it that he knows she's dying. And at this point, he's all like, well, may as well fucking tell her that we got maybe 20 minutes.
You think you're dying, but what if we all die?
Surprise.
Oh man, I really do like the two of them and the way they work together. Because he's like, hey, Rosalind, can you give me some advice?
They're one of my favorite arcs on the show. 100%.
Yeah. I want mom and dad to be okay. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Gata's telling Ty that we've got to do the hard reset.
Yeah. We got to open up the settings and restore to factory defaults. The whole ship. I'm going to lose my bookmarks if you do that.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
I can't lose my bookmarks.
I have so many of them. Yeah.
I've got 80 Chrome tabs open right now. Right? I guess they probably wouldn't use Chrome. They'd probably use anything but Chrome. So I've got 80 Firefox tabs open right now. And you can't close them.
I have been so bad about that since becoming a student again. Like at work, I had this thing of like, at the end of the day, I'm closing it down. I'm not leaving anything open. If there's something I need to come back to, I'll make a note. But I'm not leaving any tabs open. It's all going away. Like, it was my mental reset. And as a student, it's more like, well, I might not be done reading the thing or researching the thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to leave them open. And then I come back and then I feel overwhelmed because I have so many things open. Or my computer has decided to fucking restart on me and now they're all gone.
Yeah, I can't trust not to restart.
Gotta be better than this, but I don't know how.
It's tough.
Yeah. So Ty thinks that Adama will never allow this hard reset, but surprise, Adama's like, all options are open. The guy says that this is the only way to kill all of the logic bomb.
Yep. Adama and Rosalind talk real quick, too, before he gets out of there about Sharon's proposed solution. And she forces him to recognize that his judgment has been compromised, but also that she encourages him to go for it.
Yeah, like your judgment is clouded when regards to Sharon because of how much experience you had with her before. But there could still be a common ground between us and the Cylon.
Yeah. You have to find that common ground. And after this, we see Sharon taken to CIC for the first time. Returning to the spot where Boomer shot Adama. And the crew is let's say, apprehensive.
Yeah. We've got this lady on a stick and collar situation.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. Also, she's like super strong. Can't she just bust through all that shit?
Mm-hmm.
We see Leo and just break them cuffs, right?
Is it maybe like electrified? Like, I could think that a computer would still have problems with electricity if we went zappy zap.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I don't know, but she immediately makes it weird.
Yeah. She asks Dee for her dad's pocket knife, and Adama gives the okay. She gives this look. I just Jackie and Lori Jew the picture I took of the look she gives Adama. She is indignant. She's all like, I'll give her this pocket knife, but when she kills us all, I am going to stab you to death with that pocket knife.
Yeah, it is your fucking fault, you dumbass. But she starts like tearing shit apart, and we're gonna access the mainframe.
Yeah, Gata gives her a fiber optic line to the mainframe, which you don't have a mainframe. You don't have networked computers, whatever.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I wondered the same thing. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, okay. Yeah. But it's too dramatic right now to ask these questions, Xhafer, because we've got Dratus. We've got Vipers.
Oh, man. These Cylon Raiders get caught up to the ship finally, and there's just so fucking many of these things.
Yes.
Sharon cuts her hand open and shoves the fiber optic into her palm while telling Gata to prepare for the system wipe. Gata starts it on Sharon's mark after Adama confirms, and we see like 25 Vipers line up against hundreds of Cylon Raiders.
Yeah. Talk about outgunned.
Yeah. Tensions increase as trust in Sharon decreases.
Oh, Ty is flipping his shit.
Ty's all like, we're fucking dead. Kill that bitch. Fucking fuck. Like, ah. It's all like, okay, dude, maybe breathe.
Yeah. No, Adama even is starting to lose a little bit because he wants the sidearm. I don't know if this is Ty's sidearm or something, but he demands somebody's sidearm and sticks it right to Sharon's temple.
Yep. But she manages to turn the virus against the Cylon Raider fleet. She disables the whole fleet at once. And that's when Adama explains that was the plan the whole time for drama. Instead of being like, she's going to take the virus and send it over there. We're going to wipe the computers, then she's going to send the virus over real quick, right?
Yeah.
It's all
I guess I can see a little secrecy here. Because you still don't know, like, if anybody else in the room is a Cylon, and if that might compromise something. Like, they can also send a signal, or they can disrupt Sharon in some way. Yeah. I can buy this.
Yeah, like if Gata is a Cylon and he knows what's about to happen, he can cut that little fiber optic cord somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes sense to me. I'm fine with that. But he does order the thing back to her cell, and I was like,
yikes.
That's a little, I don't know, man. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't know how to feel about Sharon having seen this and the next episode. And I'm not going to spoil any of my thoughts for the next episode because there's a lot that I'm working through there. But no matter how I feel about that, like, there's still like a baseline I want to be at of like my own human decency, and thing kind of didn't work for that.
For sure. It's definitely a line.
Yeah.
So anyways, the Viper pilots just wipe out this Raider fleet that's all disabled now. They just blow up a bunch of stuff. We see lots of gratuitous shots of Cylon Raiders getting split in half.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Sharon's got to listen to this too. Like the celebrating, like we can hear it over the radio that like, I'm getting all these bastards. Boom, 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 boom. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
just disgusting. Like, if you think about it for more than half a second, right? Like,
yeah. Over on the deck, construction continues. Hilo suggests carbon fiber for the hull over metal. And then the ship's completed. Starbuck takes the Blackbird out for a test flight. where she initially has some trouble, just enough to give you one last little fucking heart attack this episode. And then she vanishes off of the radar long enough just to really drive home that drama.
Yeah, just to really fuck with
like,
Lee.
did the show just kill Starbuck on season 2, episode fucking 9? Ugh.
No. We are just fucking with Lee really hard. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, Starbuck's not just going to die on some random fucking episode. Like, no, that's not how this works. This is a television show. We know there are rules.
Yes.
So she shows up revealing that she was just fucking with Lee. It's all like, it's a stealth ship, dummy.
Yep. I love that she had turned off the light in her own helmet.
Yeah, just to hide a little bit more.
We don't have anything of like, I've got a cloaking device or some stealth shields or whatever. It's like, if I have a window, you could still see my light. So I need to turn off my light. Like, love that.
That it harkens back to the not the pilot, but the first episode 33 too, where they were trying to look in the windows of the liner.
Yeah, it's great. So we're gonna bring the ship back and show it to the president.
Yep, they're celebrating. They reveal the ship is named after her, and then they pop some champagne. And Racetrack shakes Hilo's hand, commenting on what a good idea it was for the carbon panels. And then Adama reveals the common ground that he found with Sharon. They both want to live.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
Mm-hmm. And Tyrell goes to see Sharon to theme. That's it.
Oh, this is so
And
worrisome.
Yeah.
So worrisome. Tyrell has gone to talk to Sharon, but like, I think we see her pick up the phone first and then he picks up the phone and that is it. We have no idea what they're talking about.
Don't know what happens.
Nothing, no idea what's said. Very concerning. Oh boy. Yeah. So was this one a little more dramatic than you had remembered?
Yes.
Yeah. I felt pretty tense at the end of this one. And I was like, well, not at the very end, but like in the climactic moments.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, oh God, everyone keeps saying 10 is the dramatic one. And this felt pretty dramatic. So what the fuck is up?
Yeah, well, now.
I know now. Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a second. But before we do, we should probably rate this one.
Yeah.
Where are you sitting on a scale of 1 to 12 colonies?
Well, I love the blackbird. I love when we name a ship after a bird. Big fan of that. I also love when we name a ship after me. So I really did like the blackbird story, that little bee story. Gosh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it starts with just some guy, we don't have a name for that character, saying, here, let me help you with that wing. And then suddenly we've also got Dee like working on communications and Starbuck working on a thing. And more people just pile up around this blackbird throughout the episode.
Everyone lends their expertise. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's lending their expertise, what they have. They are sharing it with the group in a way that's not forced, because this is not an official assignment. Like, we are forced to get along and do things with each other all the time because we are a military, but we are electing to do this thing together.
Yeah.
Rosalind gets a really nice, hopeful speech there at the end.
She does.
It's just a little beautiful piece of stuff. Still don't know how to feel about Sharon. Probably am not going to ever know how to feel about Sharon. I think I'm coming to peace with that. And yeah, I don't know why, but I found this one really beautiful.
Okay.
In a way. So I would give this like a 10. I don't know that I can bump into 11 or 12 yet, but
yeah,
I think we've been down in the like 8 or 9s for the last few episodes.
Yeah. I feel like the B plot of this is the highlight for sure. The A plot feels rushed and also languishing. Like, it's the pacing of it's very off. It's all like, this is an immediate emergency. We have to do these things. but also we're just going to spend like 45 seconds on a shot of like letting it just float in the air for a while. And I just wonder if there's a lot of drama in this for the sake of drama. And it's just kind of like, I get it, guys. Shit sucks. I understand the base problems. So I found myself not bored with this episode, but just kind of like waiting for it to finish. Like, it felt like Return of the King. Like, I thought this episode was done like 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay. And I think if A plot had been its own episode and B plot had been its own episode, they would be stronger for it.
I just feel like this B plot's got to be buried in something else.
Yeah.
I
can't
feel like
have
that's
just
the
a
strength
happy
of it.
episode. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I feel that way. I just felt I loved the juxtaposition of like shit sucks and is crazy, but also here's the thing I can control and I'm making it happen. And then other people are joining me because they're like, well, yeah, okay. This seems
Let's
neat.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess a 9.
Okay.
Yeah. 10 B plot, 9 overall. Maybe an 8.5. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I watched episode 10 before we recorded this episode
I mean,
was
life.
well, life is a big part of it, but
You had time. It was the
Yeah.
holiday weekend. Or it was over Memorial Day. You watched a bunch to get
Yes.
ahead. Like, yeah.
and then another reason was A, the hype, and B, I heard that it was going to be very hard to describe this episode.
Well,
Like, because the big thing happens before the cold, like in the cold open.
yeah. So I originally, because I've been like censoring the notes, right? My initial description of this episode was not telling you anything.
Oh, you were just going to be like, sorry.
Yeah,
No
I'm just
description.
not gonna. I'm no description. I'm just not gonna say anything. You just go into this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Because saying anything about what happens in this episode, because even just describing the first moments of this episode are so monumental for what it means to the story that just saying it is too much. So, but I knew that you watched it beforehand, so I actually prepared some.
Okay.
And I am going to note Ben from last time on is joining us to gush about his giant crush on Michelle Forbes.
Okay.
So we've got that coming. And then I'm going to read you the exact description that was on the episode as I went to preview and see what it said.
Okay.
The Battlestar Galactica was not the only Battlestar to have survived the Cylon attack. The Battlestar Pegasus also survived.
That's about as much as you can say about that episode without like fucking shit up. Yeah.
I don't know how you watch just that one, because it's really a 3-parter.
Oh, it's a 3-parter? Okay. Yeah. No, I got stuck on not being able to watch further because Aaron had to take some work out of town and we are watching this together. So, and you know what? Honestly, I needed some time to fucking sit with it.
Yeah.
Like, I am
fair.
very, very interested in what happens next, but I'm also extremely apprehensive about what happens next. So 3 parts. Oh my God. We just want to one-up Star Trek a little bit, don't we, Ronnie? I feel it.
It's Pegasus is its episode, and then the next 2 are an actual 2-parter.
Okay.
Like named 2-parter, part 1, part 2.
Okay.
So
I'm stealing myself, listener. And I imagine we're going to have a very fruitful, very trigger warning filled discussion over the next episode.
Yeah, some shit happens. So shit happens over the next couple episodes, and I don't remember where it all lands. So
yeah,
we'll see. But before we get there,
yes,
we have to say some thank yous.
We do.
And as is tradition on this is episode 177.
No,
170.
that can't be right.
It's something like that. Yeah, we're coming up on 200. We'll hit 200 before the end of the year.
Nice.
175 is what my notes say. Is that right? It must be. Okay, cool.
Trust the spreadsheet.
Trust the spreadsheet. 175. This is 175. That's cool.
Nice. Look at us nailing one of those cool numbers. Multiple of 5.
Yeah. Big round numbers. Anyways, as we've done for 175 episodes, we begin by thanking Jeremy Siegel. Jeremy, thank you so much for composing our theme music. Appreciate the hell out of it. Appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you so much.
Do. Yeah. And we also appreciate the hell out of Angry Duck Time Machine, who gave us our great little podcast artwork.
Aaron, I said it once this episode, I'll say it again. Best damn editor in the Babylon 5 Battlestar Galactica podcast editor space.
Truly.
Yeah.
And thanks, listener, for being here with us on this crazy journey that is Battlestar Galactica. Oh my gosh. If you need more crazy, pop on over to the Discord. If you have that good spoiler crazy, go to Spoiler Town. Ask an admin. They will get you there. And then just come hang out with us, because it is actually really a cool space, a chill space. We're all great friends. And I happened to eavesdrop on some conversations today about maybe some real life hangs for some of our folks.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
We love when like this community internet spills over into real life. It's
for
so
sure.
exciting.
It's been a boon in my life.
Truly.
We'll see you next week, internet.
Bye.